Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna tell you about how my last 2 weeks were. Sorry. It was kind of fantastic, crazy, and beautiful at the same time because I moved from Bolzano to Bologna at 13th of September, and in the morning of the 1st of October, this month, I became very hard Palestinian supporter and also anti-fascistic supporter because of the several reasons. Actually it happened like this. I was searching for a place to stay at the morning, and the guys from Palestinian camp at Piazza Maggiore, it's the main square of Bologna, they invited me to their camp because they were doing protests in the name of Italian flotilla, which was going to reach Gaza with humanitarian help. And for me, of course, this situation is very familiar, and I decided to stay with them and support them. I already had a lot of anti-fascist friends in Bolzano, and many times we were together discussing things. They helped me a lot. I also helped them, like working on their musical festivals. But this time I decided to go big and support them with whatever I could, because I saw these people are beautiful, and also which they stand for. It's actually the very nice thing, and it's the most human thing, I think, now in the world, as well as supporting Ukraine, which I was like focusing all this time. For Israel-Palestine question was for me, like before this time, was like a little bit not clear, but now I see finally everything, also how Italian governments are actually oppressing the people, and I don't know where my eyes were all this time, because actually I was always the one who got this pressure and kind of a zero support from the government. And also my political protection application was processing 3 years. It's just 5-minute work, but they're doing it 3 years. I don't know. And I asked myself 1,000 times what is happening, but if they do it on purpose or they just slow, stupid assholes, and I don't know, maybe the both. But my experience actually is that they didn't pay much kind of attention. They didn't took me seriously, which actually their big mistake. And at the same time, there is of course a lot of people in Italy who asked for a protection from Africa, from Middle East, from all over the world, maybe also from Ukraine and Russia, and they always say to me something like, "Oh, Dmitry, there is so much people." But I think the main problem lie not into this, because if you would use the most effective procedures, maybe it can be done much faster. But however, these 2 weeks I participated in Palestinian camp, in all the protests. I also went to Rome, thanks to one good special person who inspired me to do it. In Rome, actually, of course, there was no protest on the 5th of October, but it actually was some kind of beauty in it, because I went there when nobody really came there, and I was like proceeding the chain of this important movement. And of course, since I'm being a magician, dark magician, I made special thing, let's say so, to support the movement, to support Palestine, and also to support Italy, to support local people, to support all those who stand for freedom, because I believe in this country, I believe in Italy, also I believe in Europe very much. I know you guys have a lot of problems, and every day I'm being told that Europe is struggling, there is a lot of problems, racists, lack of jobs. For lack of jobs, I already realized that pretty much good. But still, I believe in this land. For me, this land is a holy, sacred land. Just look at it. It's just beautiful. It's a land which actually accepted me just like that, and I always in connection with the local spirits, with the local, even the saint people. For example, Saint Petronius, protector of Bolzano. I know him now in person. That's fantastic, because in my life I was always focused on interacting with the dark gods, but the more I open here, the more like good connection I managed to obtain, and I meet a lot of very, very interesting, nice, special people, which are also have a lot of big connection to spirituality actually, and sometimes they don't even know about this, but well, I am the one who can awake this spirituality, and to show the people that they are not just a people, it's something more than that, and it works perfectly. And also everything I did for Palestine last 2 weeks was like ended up in a kind of a good result, as I see, and also of course thanks to the great support of the people, which also I try to empower, because together we are strong, together we are unstoppable. It's like also the song for Ukrainians we did like that. When you fight for a good thing, like the gods themselves, they fight with you, and you have these winds behind your back, and because you in this moment, like a spirit of vengeance, like a dark angel which comes and doing good things, like doing justice. And it's important, guys, not to stop, because like in Russia we had similar situation 14 years ago in 2011, 2012, when there was massive protests against the corruption in Russia, which was led by Alexei Navalny. Unfortunately, he's already dead 2 years, and the movement kind of like struggling. Most of us, they are in Europe, and also me personally, I switched to support of more militaristic Russian opposition, because I see how it's impossible became to reach the democracy in Russia peacefully, and that's why we all who need to liberate Russia also see that Russia is an important part of the world and also of the Europe. We see how it must be liberated, but the only way to liberate it now is the support. For example, Russian volunteer corps, there's the Russians who fight for Ukraine, and also they fight for freedom of Russia. And this is also Legion of Freedom of Russia, Siberian Battalion, which represent like different social groups of Russian people, but they are all warriors, and they all deserve support, because in peaceful way, unfortunately in Russia, it's not possible anymore to reach democracy. But you guys, you Europeans, you can do that, and of course I will be always staying with you, always helping you. The funny thing was, like in Italian protests, I was first time beaten by a police, and this is such a kind of significant, I think, thing, because even in Russia, which kind of we have very, very brutal police, like 100 more brutal and sadistic than here, but maybe also here it's like these guys, I saw how they beat kids, I saw how they beat girls, like women, and I just could not see it. I want to roam in total readiness to find them back, but also when I returned, there was another protest, and there was a lot of police, and one time they just appeared out of nowhere, and just 5 people started to beat me, and it was good actually that they didn't beat much of the kids, because they kind of was focusing on me, and I was like a main tank, and like in World of Warcraft, like taking all the damage. Like, well, I'm proud of it, but of course I would love to actually kick their asses, but for me, of course, it's not a good thing to do, to touch the policeman. Also, I know that if you touch the policeman, you go to prison, or you have a lot of problems. And this is also this unfair fight, right? Because they are well armed, they also kind of law on their side. But we people, we can do much better, because we can bring the energy of actually love and peace. And also, like me personally, I bring the energy of my gods. And you know what? Like that day, it was I think 7th of October, when there was this big protest and a big number of the policemen, and I wish them all to disappear. I did my job, I did my way, of fighting them more magical way. And the next day, you know what happened? The next day, there were just 0 police in the city, and also the protest was big, but there was no police at 8th of October. Maybe, of course, it's linked with the fact that this Israeli-Palestinian war is like massively started at 7, because it was also continued for many years. And I need to study more the situation, because I just started to be involved into this. And but the thing is that everybody, I think, expected like something like this again, but it was actually 0 police and big celebration at Piazza Maggiore. I was so happy. I meet some nice people, some also Russian guy, Simeon. Hello, Simeon, if you watch this. And we had such a nice time. Like, you know, I strongly believe in you guys, and believe me, together we will win it all. Yeah, thank you for watching. It's just one of the first, this was first of the several maybe part of this video blogging about local politics and also politics of the world, because I see how it's important actually to support freedom now, how it's important to be aware or to get knowledge, to stand for people, for freedom and for all good things in the world, and especially in Europe, because I think Europe now is a kind of foundation of forging the new life, which will be very good life. And we should not allow some bastards and motherfuckers like Putin or Meloni or Trump or Netanyahu or whatever else to ruin it. We should take our freedom, we should go to elections, we should support movement, we should start the businesses, we should develop the country, we should develop our tribe, our clan, our movement, and we just need to strongly believe in it and not gonna stop. Until next time, guys, be kept by the mighty great dragon, Leviathan.